community banks. To find a location near you, visit wintrust.com/find us.
Oh, east is east, and west is west, and never the twain shall meet. That's the ballad of East and West. Rudyard Kipling wrote that poem when he was about 24 years old. Hello there, and welcome to Exploring Music. It's Bill McLaughlin here, and that is our theme this week on Exploring Music, the ballad of East and West. The idea was suggested by a listener, Stephen Doiron, who wrote in, "Dear Bill, here's an idea for the program. How about a week exploring the music of Asia? How does it differ from European music? How is it similar? How does it influence us?" Good question, Stephen. So let's go back to Rudyard Kipling, that line of his, "Never the twain shall meet." That's the line that gets quoted over and over again, and most of the people quoting it forget that Kipling couldn't even go 4 lines into his poem without starting to contradict himself. He writes, "But there is neither east nor west, border nor breed nor birth, when 2 strong men stand face to face, though they come from the ends of the earth." So that meeting of 2 great musical cultures from the other sides of the world is something we're going to try to explore this week, starting with China. And wow, do we have a lot of history here. 23 separate dynasties and periods, according to my count, dating back over 4,000 years. One of the most important figures in early Chinese music is the great philosopher Confucius. Now, just to get his dates, it's 551 to 579 BCE. This is a long time ago, and Confucius loved music. He said, "It is an expression of the human heart. It's part of the counterpart of ritual, and it is also a means of governance." And Confucius left over 300 song texts, which are still studied and sung today. But we're not starting with Confucius back 500 years or so before the birth of Christ. We're going to jump ahead to, say, 17th century or so, when some Jesuit priests from Europe brought with them a harpsichord and hauled it into the emperor's palace and installed it there and played for the emperor. He was fascinated. We're going to start much later with a piece written during the Second World War in 1939, actually during the Sino-Japanese War, which started in 1938. Let's meet the composer Xian Xinghai.
Good evening, everyone. We had roll call and Pledge of Allegiance prior to closed session. We're going to begin with Discover Mokena. Clerk Martini.
Actually, it's with curtain call.
Oh, I'm sorry, curtain call.
Good evening, everyone. I'm June Graffy. I'm here from Curtain Call Theater to let you know what we're doing right now at Curtain Call. We are in our rehearsal for the 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. That production will go up on June 17th. It will run for 2 weekends. Friday and Saturday night are at 7:30. Sunday are 2 o'clock matinees. Tickets are $25 each. They can be purchased online on our website or by calling the box office, 708-607-2281, and our website is ccctheater.com. This is a production that is for mature audiences only. The other thing that we have going on is our registration for our Emily McCabe Musical Theater program. It is a program for children in grades kindergarten through 8th grade. It is for kindergarten through 3rd grade, it's a 4-week camp. For 4th through 8th, it's a 5-week camp. K through 3 will be performing It's a Jungle Out There. and 4 through 8 is performing the Music Man Junior. The camp starts June 13th, and the junior camp will perform July 7th, and the senior camp will perform the weekend of July 15th. Again, same thing. Any questions, you can call our box office, 708-607-2281. Registration for the camp is also online, www.ccctheater.com.
Thank you very much for everything you've done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Martini, community calendar.
The community calendar for May 2022. May 24th is a recycle day. May 26th, the Planning Commission Zoning Board of Appeals meeting. It's a special meeting being held at 7:00 p.m. at the Village Hall. May 30th, the Village Hall is closed for the Memorial Day holiday. Normal business hours will resume on Tuesday, May 31st. Refuge pickup will also occur Wednesday, June 1st due to the holiday. May 30th, the Mokena VFW Post 725 Memorial Day Remembrance. Events to begin at 10:00 a.m. at Pioneer Cemetery, weather permitting. In case of inclement weather, the ceremony will be held at the VFW located at 19852 Wolf Road. For more information, you can check www.mokena.org. On June 4th, the Site Plan and Architectural Review Committee meeting is at 6:00 p.m. at the Village Hall. June 4th, the Mokena Fire Protection District's Family Fun Day. It's from 11:00 a.m. to 1:00 p.m. at 19853 South Wolf Road. It's a free event and no registration is required. It's fun and engaging activities for all ages. June 7th is a recycle day. June 13th, the Mokena Fire Department is having a CPR class from 6:00 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. at 19853 South Wolf Road. For more information or to register online at mokenafire.org or at station number 1. And June 13th, the Village Board of Trustee meeting is at 7:00 p.m. at the Village Hall.
Thank you, Clerk. Next, we have public comments. Anyone would like to make a public comment? Please state your name.
My name is Mike Moran. I'm a past member of the Mokena Board of Police and Fire Commission, and I'm here to discuss tonight the judge's rendering his decision in Will County Court this morning on our case regarding the Christopher Carlson case. For people perhaps not here, that are out in the audience that don't know that case, you, the village trustees, fired a member of the police department who had 28, now 30 years of credible service, and you fired him. He appealed to the Will County, or to the Mokena Police and Fire Commission. We held 3 days of hearings after we were lied to a number of cases by attorney that's sitting in the room telling us stories that weren't true. And as a result of that, the board, after 3 days of hearings, rendered a decision to reinstate Christopher Carlson as the commander of the police department after you, the board, fired him. You, through your attorney, decided to go to Will County Court to appeal our decision. The judge today rendered a decision indicating that you were 100% wrong, and your attorney led you 100% wrong. And tonight, I'm here to ask the board to fire the attorney, Carl Buck, for possible malpractice, and that he advised you to follow through on this case when it was clear that we, the board, rendered our decision based on the law. And you folks all disregarded that, never spoke to us, never discussed it with us, never asked us our opinion, but went to your attorney, Carl Buck, and then appealed at the Will County Court. Took 2.5 years for Will County Court to make a decision that we made after 3 short hearings, it was clear to us, based on the law, that we determined Christopher Carlson should be reinstated, made whole, and life goes on. But you folks all decided against that, and you're going to appeal it to the Will County Court. My bet is you probably spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in doing that. And in the process, the mayor, Frank Fleischer, and the board disassembled the Board of Police and Fire Commission because you didn't like what we did.
That's not true, sir.
Don't tell me
That's your
it's not
assumption.
true. I'm not going to argue with you.
That's your assumption. That's
The
not
bottom
true.
line is, you disassembled us because we rendered a decision that perhaps you didn't agree with. The end product is, it took 2.5 years for a judge to come forward, give us the opinion, and he rendered his decision today.
Sir, your 3 minutes are up. Your 3 minutes are up. You have any final words?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do.
Because your 3 minutes are up, so,
Yeah, that's fine.
okay.
You don't follow the law anyhow, so I don't know why I should follow your rules. But more importantly is...
Please don't be disrespectful to this board, because we're not disrespectful to you.
Disrespectful.
Okay.
I call on the board to fire...
Okay, we heard you already. Your 3 minutes is up. Thank you for your statements. We appreciate
I'll
it.
finish.
You're finished.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, 3 minutes are up.
No, I'm not.
That's our ordinance.
I don't care what your ordinance is. You didn't even follow your own ordinance when you fired that police officer. So I'm gonna wrap it up. You don't have to come up. I'm not gonna do nothing. Bottom line is, I am calling upon each of you board members to resign for incompetency. You rendered a decision, you voted in block, and you know you were wrong. 2 board members didn't even know, weren't even dry behind their ears yet, made a decision to fire a police commissioner, didn't even know what it was about. And last but not least, Mr. Richmond, you're running for the county board. You can't even make good decisions in the Mokena village. How are you going to make good decisions
Thank you.
on the county board?
Thank you for your comments.
cannot.
We appreciate-
Anybody that votes for you is nuts.
Sir,
Oh, don't call me.
thank you for your comments. The time is up. Time
Okay.
is up. Okay.
What are you going to do about it?
Mr. Moran, please.
No, sit down. You don't have to get up. You don't
The
have
time is up. I'm asking you to please sit down. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, appreciate it. Okay, consent agenda, Mr. Tomasowski.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. There's one item on the consent agenda this evening. That is a motion to approve the minutes from the May 9th, 2022 board meeting and work session.
Mayor, move to approve consent agenda item 7A as depicted in the May 19, 2022 request for board action prepared by the village administrator.
Second.
We have a motion probably second. Madam Clerk, roll call, please. Vote.
Trustee Engler? Aye. Trustee Richmond?
Aye.
Trustee Fedora? Aye. And Trustee Delphine?
Okay, we have a quorum. Appointments and proclamations. We have National Gun Violence Awareness Day proclamation. Clerk Martini.
National Gun Violence Awareness Day proclamation. Whereas the first Friday in June has been chosen to be the National Gun Violence Awareness Day in order to honor and remember all victims of gun violence and to declare that we as a country must do more to reduce gun violence. And whereas on average there are nearly 16,000 gun homicides each year. And whereas Americans are 26 times more likely to be killed with guns than people in any other high-income countries. And whereas roughly 2/3 of gun deaths are suicides. Most people who attempt suicide do not die unless they use a gun. And whereas support for the Second Amendment rights of law-abiding citizens goes hand in hand with keeping guns away from people with dangerous histories. And whereas protecting public safety in the communities they serve is mayors' highest responsibility. And whereas mayors and law enforcement officers know their communities best, are the most familiar with local criminal activity and how to address it, are in our best position to understand how to keep their citizens safe. And whereas gun violence prevention is more important than ever as the recent COVID-19 pandemic increased calls to suicide and domestic violence hotlines. And whereas in January 2013, Hadia Pendleton, a teenager who marched in President Obama's second inaugural parade, was tragically shot and killed just weeks later. And whereas to help Hadia and other victims of gun violence whose lives are cut short and the countless survivors who are injured by shootings every day, a national coalition of organizations has designated June 3rd, 2022 as the 7th National Gun Violence Awareness Day. And whereas the idea was inspired by a group of Hadia's friends who asked their classmates to commemorate her life by wearing orange. And whereas by wearing orange on June 3rd, 2022, Americans will raise awareness about gun violence and honor the lives of gun violence victims and survivors. And whereas the Mokena Village Board honors the victims of gun violence and encourages responsible gun ownership to help keep our community safe. And therefore, I, Frank A. Flesher, Mayor of the Village of Mokena, do hereby proclaim June 3rd, 2022 as National Gun Violence Awareness Day in the Village of Mokena, and urge all residents in our community to honor and value human lives and support efforts to prevent the tragic effects of gun violence. Proclaim this 23rd day of May, 2022.
Thank you very much.
You can always carry some.
Would that be okay?
Yes.
Here, hold it this way so we can see it. There you go.
Ladies and gentlemen,
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
very much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay. Old business, John?
thank you, Mayor Pro Tem.
Oh, wait, now we got appointments.
I'm sorry, one more appointment here. Appointment of Brooke Blank and Luke Fraser to Community Service Officer position. Brian Benton.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Board, as you're aware, the police department is authorized to employ 3 community service officers. We were recently notified that CSO Zula was going to take a position with a local airlines and would be leaving, so we had to fill her position. So as you also know, in this year's budget, we requested a 4th CSO, basically due to the expansion of their duties, their operational effectiveness, helping our police officers. They're doing more at traffic crash scenes by directing traffic, standing by for tows and what have you. So we've asked for the 4th position in this budget. In order to fill the positions of qualified candidates who share an interest in law enforcement, we contacted other police departments to see if they had any other cadets or explorers that may be interested in these roles. We also asked our current employees, the CSO that we have, to seek qualified candidates through their professional acquaintances, and as a result, we identified 2 viable candidates for the positions. Interviews of applicants and the backgrounds were conducted, and as a result, Ms. Brooke Blank and Mr. Luke Frazier are recommended to fill the vacancies. Ms. Blank is a student at Joliet Junior College studying criminal justice, is currently employed at Target. Mr. Frazier is currently employed at Alsop Nursery and is also a corporal with the Frankfort Police Department's cadet program. So it would be staff's recommendation to approve the appointments of Brooke Blank and Luke Frazier to the part-time community service officer positions at a CS grade step 7, contingent upon them successfully passing their medical exams, which they have taken, and we're just waiting for the results. It should be in this week.
Thank you, Chief. Can I get a motion, please?
Sure. Mayor Pro Tem, motion to approve the appointment of Brooke Blank and Luke Frazier to the position of part-time community service officer as a CS grade step 7 effective May 24, 2022, contingent upon their successfully passing medical exams.
Second.
We have a motion, probably second. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Engler.
Aye.
Trustee Richmond.
Aye.
Trustee Dolphinay.
Aye.
And Trustee Fedora.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Thank you.
Okay, now go to old business. Approval of executive session minutes release. John Tomasowski, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. Board, after the biannual review of the closed session minutes, if so determined, now would be the time that the board, if they would like to approve any of those minutes in order destruction of the verbatim.
Can you get a motion?
Mayor Pro Tem, motion to approve closed session minutes for the following closed session dates: June 13th, 2020, February 24th, 2020, March 9th, 2020, April 27th, 2020, May 18th, 2020, March 26th, 2020, October 12th, 2020, November 9th, 2020, November 11th, 2020, and destroy the verbatim records for said meetings.
Second.
We have a motion, probably second. Clerk Martini, please take a vote.
Trustee
Call.
Engler? Aye. Trustee Richmond?
Aye.
Trustee Fedora? Aye. Trustee Dauphiné?
Aye. Motion passed.
Okay.
Is there another motion?
Yes. Mayor Pro Tem, move to find that the necessity for confidentiality remains for all remaining closed session minutes.
Second.
We have a motion, probably second. Roll call vote, please, clerk.
Trustee Engler?
Aye.
Trustee Richmond?
Aye.
Trustee Dauphiné?
Aye.
Trustee Fedora? Aye.
Okay, motion passed. Post-insurance tax compliance report. Sharon Daniels, please.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. During the March 26, 2012 Village Board meeting, a resolution was established as a record-keeping policy, which was needed as the village was refunding the Series 2004 general obligation bonds. As the compliance officer, I prepared an annual report, and everything that is stated in there is in compliance with the applicable tax law requirements, and this is just a strictly housekeeping item and does not require any board action.
Thank you. Amusement tax ordinance, Carl Buck.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Mayor Pro Tem and Board, the item before you is an amendment to the amusement tax ordinance that is part of the village's code of ordinances. The board will recall that upon approval of certain businesses within the village, we had a discussion about the amusement tax and the way that it was drafted. That ordinance was originally placed on the code of ordinances in 1999. The proposed revision to the ordinance addresses the definition section to clarify what is an amusement for the purposes of the tax versus what are instructional or educational programs. It also clarifies what the exemptions are. It adds a provision relative to the accounting and the audit process, and it places the business on notice that they do have to provide an audit if they're requested by the village to provide one through a CPA, and it addresses the penalty provision if they fail to properly account for the tax and pay the tax.
Thank you. Can I get a motion, please?
Sure. Mayor Pro Tem, move to approve ordinance number 2022-0-006, amending the amusement tax collected within the Village of Mokena pursuant to Village of Mokena Code Ordinance 3-2-5, and authorize village president and village clerk to execute same.
Second.
We have a motion, probably second. Clerk, please take a roll call.
Trustee Engler?
Aye.
Trustee Richmond?
Aye.
Trustee Dauphiné?
Aye.
Trustee Fedora? Aye.
Motion passed. Pond maintenance bid recommendation, Jim Calusa.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. The bid was recently received for the 22 and 23 year for pond maintenance program, which consists of servicing 23 ponds throughout the village. Services include water quality monitoring to ensure healthy aquatics environment, along with chemical applications to address water quality and aquatic vegetation, algae control. This contract requires a successful bidder to treat the ponds biweekly and comply with all environmental and EPA regulations. The bid opening was held Friday, May 6th. There was 4 bids, and the lowest bid was received from McLeod Aquatics in the total amount of $49,988.40, which covers 2 seasons. McLeod has been in business for over 20 years and has performed this service for the village in the past and did an excellent job. Staff has checked the references that were provided with all positive responses. After reviewing the bids, all bidders were in compliance with all the requirements of the bidding documents and specifications, and McLeod Aquatics of Elburn, Illinois was the lowest bidder, and staff has $31,500 budgeted for the fiscal 22 and $45,500 for fiscal 23. Staff is recommending that the board award the contract for the 22 and 23 pond maintenance program to the lowest bidder, McLeod Aquatics. Should the board concur with staff recommendations, the following motion would be recommended.
Thank you, Jim. Can I have a motion, please?
Mayor Pro Tem, motion to award a contract for the 2022 and 2023 pond maintenance program to the lowest bidder, McLeod Aquatics of Elburn, Illinois, in the amount of $49,988.40, with an option to renew the contract for an additional 2 seasons in 2024 and 2025 if both parties agree, and to authorize village president and village clerk to execute same.
Second.
I have a motion probably second. Anybody have any questions? None seen. Clerk, please take a roll call vote.
Trustee Engler.
Aye.
Trustee Richmond.
Aye.
Trustee Fedora. Aye. Trustee Delphine.
Motion passed. Wastewater treatment plant HVAC replacement bid recommendation. Jim Calusa.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Temp again. Bids were recently received for replacing one of the 2 HVAC systems in the Mokena wastewater treatment plant. Bid opening was held Friday, May 13th. There was 1 bid reviewed by Climate Master, of course being the lowest bid. We did have 2 quotes come in earlier, and when we found out the quotes were above our bid level, we put it out for bid. And just sharing that Climate Master, in fact, was the lowest quoter and came in with the lowest bid for the amount of $32,825, which covers furnishing and installation. Climate Master has been in business for over 30 years, and they are located in Mokena, Illinois. They performed multiple HVAC replacements and services for the village buildings, most recently the one that's just above us. And staff has had positive views of Climate Master and recommends utilizing them for the contract. After reviewing the bid, Mokena is in compliance with the specified equipment, and Climate Master provided a competitive price for the total amount of $32,825. We have $42,000 in the fiscal year 23 budget. Staff is recommending that the board award the contract to the wastewater treatment HVAC replacement to the lowest bidder in the amount of $32,875. Should the board concur with staff's recommendations, the following motion would be recommended.
Thank you, Jim. Motion, please.
Mayor Pro Tem, motion to award a contract for the wastewater treatment plant HVAC replacement to the lowest bidder, Climate Master Mechanical Contractors of Mokena, Illinois, in the amount of $32,825, and to authorize village president and village clerk to execute same.
Second.
We have a motion probably second. Any questions from the board?
No.
If not, Clerk Martini, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Engler.
Aye.
Trustee Richmond.
Aye.
Trustee Delphine.
Aye.
And Trustee Fedora.
Aye.
Motion passed. New business, building code consultant recommendation, Matt Zutzka.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. So next, staff is pleased to present their recommendation for building code consultant, which comes after the recent retirement of Chuck Heslin, who served as our trusted building code consultant, part-time inspector for over 25 years. We actually started this process last fall by sending out a request for proposals, or RFP, an RFP to qualified building code consultants within the Chicagoland area, seeking contract proposals for plan reviews, code interpretations, and inspection services on an as-needed basis for the building department. Ultimately, the village staff received a total of 5 responses from qualified firms before working alongside Chief Building Official Christoph Korchelek to analyze each proposal and compare costs to anticipated service levels. Ultimately, it was Lakeside Consultants that stood out as our clear front runner and best available option based on the proposed rates, quality of inspectors, scheduling flexibility, as well as general responsiveness. Lakeside Consultants currently provides similar services for over 13 other Illinois communities, including our neighbors over in Tinley Park, as well as the cities of Wheaton, Warrenville, and Arlington Heights. When speaking to reps over in Tinley Park's building department, they have nothing but positive things to say about Lakeside. We're quick to note their reliability, flexibility, a quick turnaround time for any outsourced plan reviews. So this was similar to the feedback we've received from the Village of Montgomery. And all in all, it's been very encouraging, any feedback. So before I turn things over to the board, I did want to point out that legal counsel has reviewed a recommendation, concurs with our findings that Lakeside Consultants is our best option to pursue on an as-needed basis. So now I'm happy to answer any questions the board may have. If not, I'll turn it over to you, Mayor Pro Tem, for final board action.
And a motion, please.
Mayor Pro Tem, motion to approve a contract with Lakeside Consultants to perform plan review, code interpretations, and inspection services on an as-needed basis, and to authorize village president and village clerk to execute same.
Second. We have a motion properly second. Any questions from the board? None seen. Martini, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Engler.
Aye.
Trustee Richmond.
Aye.
Trustee Fedora.
Aye.
And Trustee Dauphiné.
Aye.
All right, motion passed. Next thing on the agenda, we got resolution of administrative clerical compensation. John Tomasowski.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. Village staff has recently reviewed and recommends adjustments to the administrative and clerical personnel compensation schedule. Staff prepared proposed classification and step increases for compensation for the positions of administrative assistant, accounting assistant, police record supervisor, and customer service representative. Following the board's review of the proposed compensation schedule, staff and Attorney Buck prepared the attached resolution, which is required to effectuate the compensation plan. If approved by the board this evening, the plan would go into effect May 30th, 2022.
Thank you, John. Can I get a motion, please?
Mayor Pro Tem, move to approve resolution number 2022-R-006, setting the compensation of certain employees of the Village of Mokena, and authorize village president and village clerk to execute same.
Second. We have a motion properly second. Any questions from the board? None seen. Clerk Martini, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Engler.
Aye.
Trustee Richmond.
Aye.
Trustee Fedora. And Trustee Dauphiné.
Motion passed. Next, we got village administrator comments. John Tomasowski.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. Mr. Zoll will lead us off here.
Okay, thank you, John. First of all, we want to let everybody know that the VFW again is having the Memorial Day Remembrance. This year it's going to be at Pioneer Cemetery, as was mentioned during Clerk Martini's comments at the beginning of the meeting. The gathering will be at 10 a.m. on the 30th. Again, that's on Monday. If the weather is inclement, it will move over to the VFW across the street on Wolf Road. And the VFW guys and gals would like everyone to know that after the ceremonies, they're free to join over there for hot dogs afterwards. It's always a good time to hang out at the V afterwards. And there will be a dedication adding Gerald Rents to the William Martin Post 725 Memorial Plaque at approximately 11:30. There also will be some entertainment from students at All About Music and the Children's Theater, giving Memorial Day tribute. Next slide, please. Also, we wanted, in conjunction with Memorial Day coming up a week from today, want to let everybody know that we just had some work done at Pioneer Cemetery. This is something we've been working on here for a couple of years. Applied for some grants. We're not successful in getting those, but we went ahead and moved forward with this. And so we've had the grave markers professionally leveled, repaired, and reset. You see in front of you there a nice example of one of the displays that the grave markers have been repaired and set up straight. All this work was performed consistent with Illinois Historic Preservation Guidelines and done by a professional that does this work all over the Chicagoland area. And we want to especially thank longtime Mokena historian Rob Horace for his input and contributions before this all got started, so we did things properly and got the stones in the proper places. So again, just a reminder, this is going to be the setting for the Memorial Day VFW Post next Monday. I encourage everyone to come out and remember those that have given their lives for our country in wars over the decades and centuries. I'll turn back over to you, John.
Thank you, Kirk. And just another update here for our public with respect to Silver Cross and COVID numbers. So approximately a month and a half ago, we reported from Silver Cross, numbers came down dramatically from early January. Their peak was just over 150 people here hospitalized in Silver Cross with COVID. The numbers last month and a half were approximately single digits during that period. in recent discussions, they are creeping back up. Approximately 28 are in Silver Cross right now with COVID, either directly for that or indirectly for something else, and have realized they have COVID. Outpatient activity is picking up here for Silver Cross, so everyone just please understand that and try to act accordingly for yourself. And as always, with any of these issues or symptoms people may have, the encouragement of using some of these other facilities rather than the hospitals directly, the outpatient cares, there's two right down here on Route 30. One of them is Silver Cross, one of them is Northwestern. Any of those kind of facilities to take your first step would be a benefit as well. That's what we have, Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, John. Trustee comments. Trustee Engler.
Just a couple today, Mayor Pro Tem. I want to congratulate all our 2022 graduates out there. I went to graduation ceremony yesterday for Mokena Junior High. My granddaughter Emma, congratulations, and congratulations to all the other graduates. Like I've been saying in the past, please, please be careful. Now the weather is getting nicer. We want to make sure everybody stays safe. And happy birthday, Madison. She's turning 7 today. That's all I have, George. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Richmond.
Thanks, George. Now, just wanted to echo what Kirk had to say about the VFW and their the Memorial Day. It used to be called a procession, but this year it's just going to be at Pioneer Cemetery, weather permitting. So if anybody and everybody can attend that, it's always a great event for our community, and that's all I have. Thanks, George.
Thank you, John. Appreciate it. Trustee Delphinaise.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. I'll just echo Trustee Engler and congratulate all our young people who are graduating this month. And I'd like to wish everyone a warm, healthy, and peaceful Memorial Day weekend.
Thank you, Rob. Trustee Fedora.
Thank you. Congratulations to the Cancer Support Center for a successful event that they held this weekend. Their annual Walk of Hope came back to Mokena this year, and they raised funds for the very important services that they provide this entire area. And congratulations to all of the graduates, and I wish them the best of luck as they move on to high school or college or the workforce, whatever the next chapter in their life holds. And of course, hope to see everyone at the Memorial Day Remembrance Ceremony. Remember, that one's not a parade. The parade is the 4th. This is a remembrance ceremony, and more somber to remember, of course, all those who served. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Melissa. Just a couple of things. I also want to congratulate all the graduates from either grammar school, high school, college, and so on. Special congratulations to Nolan Tillotson, our cousin, little boy. Oh, big boy now. Also, looking forward to the Chamber Golf outing coming up. Hope everybody, if you haven't registered, I don't know if there's still room.
Yes, there is.
There's still room to register, please. So kids are getting out of school, please be careful. Don't speed down residential areas because you never know when somebody's going to pop out. So with that, I would just like to thank everyone for attending this evening's meeting. May I have a motion to adjourn, please?
So moved.
Second. We have a motion, probably second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Meeting adjourned.